the Devils? J-dawg back to answer some more goddamn fucking questions. And today's questions we're going over first. We got two order ones, and one of them is an email. God damn it, I replied to them saying I would reply to it. So here the fuck we are. And then we'll go to the next video live. And the first one is from David Lombardo. Highly doubt the fucking drummer, David Lombardo. And he's from Ohio, I believe, because he orders from us several times. So, David, I don't know if you ever asked a question, but yeah, I've always seen your orders for several years now, and me and the boys got a kick out of your name. Like, is that his real name? And did he change his name to that? And pretty sure not the fucking Slayer David Lombardo, right? But nonetheless, cool fucking name, right? Yo, dog. I didn't buy it, but I remember seeing an Immolation live bootleg for sale on the HHR website a number of years ago that said it was recorded in North Royalton, of all places. Yes, I know which one you're talking about. What's it titled? But yeah, North Royalton, Ohio. Yes, it was. Which would probably be the last place in the land I'd expect a real metal band to be playing. Yeah, so for it kind of that's before my time too. I forget what year it is. I think it's right when Here and After came out. I can't remember though. I remember it sounding good. I own it, bought one, of course. God damn it. Yeah, that was a handful of years ago. I think it was right before Here and After came out, or Here and After did just come out. I want to say it's before because I don't think there's definitely no Nailed to Gold and shit on there. I remember that because it's my favorite goddamn Immolation song. It's a great sound on boot. What I thought was funny about it was that Ross dedicated a song to Jim Lasagna, and Jim Lasagna is also Jim Kanye. That was he had like 50 fucking names: Jim Kanye, Jim Lasagna, Jim Satanic, and a bunch of other fucking co names he gave himself too that I can't even remember them. But if you hear that on there, I think it's on the second or third song, "Start Laughing," which I wasn't too shocked because I knew Don and Jim were always friends with the Immolation guys, and the fact that it was in Ohio, I was like, I know Jim would. Jim was at every fucking show he was on. Every show he was at. But that was before my time, so that would have been what Here and After came out in '94, right? So let's just say '93. It is something like that. That was I was 8 years old in 1993, so I wasn't at the show, but I did buy the LP. But yeah, that's been we got a handful of those in shit, maybe not 10 years ago, but a while ago. Would probably be the. Do you know anything more about this show or the venue it was at? Is that the place people like Paul and shit can comment on it. He talks about all the time. Place like Flashes. I know Chris Dorr knows it too. That was a place that had shows. That venue closed down before I started going to shows, so I never been to it. I only hear the stories about it. And from what I understand, there was a bunch of metal bands that played there, not just Immolation, a bunch. But that was right before my time. I think they said Flashes closed down in '97 or so, when that made perfect sense because I started going to shows in '98. Maybe it did close out in '98, '99, but when I started going to shows, none were there, and then it closed up. But it had to have been late '90s because none were when I went there. All the shows I was going to in the late '90s and early 2000s was it was at Peabody's, the Agora, Flying Machine, Hi-Fi, which is now the Foundry, Fantasy. Who am I forgetting? That's about it. Those were all the main ones. At least I might be forgetting one of them or so. But that in Cleveland and Flying Machine was out all way out in fucking Lorraine, which was a very inconvenient drive. But that's where all the Ohio Death Fest were. Well, starting in the 2000s, because I know he originally had them in the Fantasy in the 90s. Do you know anything more about the shows? Also, can you send me a Deicide sticker? Still have any? Thanks, goddamn. I'm actually officially out of the goddamn Deicide stickers. So, Layla Lover, just so you know, not that you're responsible to do anything, but I'm all out of all slogan stickers. I have none whatsoever. I gave out, I ran out like a week ago, I think. Next goddamn question. Tommy Midland. J-Dawg, what's your opinion on Portal? Question mark. Never heard you talk much about them. I love it all. Thanks, doggy. So I have talked about them. I mean, briefly. I mean, I didn't go into detail about them. Music wise, not for the dog. Image wise, thought they were fucking cool. Got to see them live when they played here in Cleveland. And the guys I liked personally, I mostly got along with the singer Shane the best. I don't know if it's still the same singer. This was shit when they came here. This was about 12 to 15 years ago, whatever year it was, um, but minimally 12 years ago. I got along with Shane really well because he was into bodybuilding too. So we just were talking about training, talking about nutrition. I mean, he's the one that told me about. Actually, that was before I even knew who the pro bodybuilder Marcus Rule is. He told me about Marcus Rule, and I looked him up. Holy fuck. He's like the freakiest of freaks of all time. He's retired now. And I got to meet Marcus Rule actually at the Olympia Expo walking around. And I just said, nice to meet you, Marcus. Can I get a picture with you? I was like, you're the king of all freaks. He said, thanks. I try. He's German. So I've been a Marcus Rule fan ever since that. It was Shane from Portal that told me about him. I told Shane point blank. I was like, yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even like Portal. I think it's respectable metal. I was like, to me, it's just boring. Cody chuckled. I can understand that. He's like, yeah, it's definitely not a. He's like, it's kind of more of a band that we're doing for the whole sound and just do something kind of like different. He's like, it's not, something you're gonna like. Even myself, I would like just jam out all the time on a regular basis. It's kind of for more of an atmosphere, if anything. So I got that. But cool guys, cool band, but it's nothing I'm gonna spin. That's for goddamn. I'm not like fuck yeah, I'm gonna do for some goddamn Portal. I mean, but it's not cold chamber canoe junk either. It's just nothing I'm gonna want to listen to. Longtime HHR supporter Jamie from Abhorrence slash Defecator. This was the email guy. That's how he signed off. So that's what I put his name. He asked me to fucking answer questions. So here the fuck it is. Goddammit. If you were a pro wrestler, what would be your finishing move be? I never gave it any thought. Have you ever considered getting into pro wrestling in the past? It's not too late for you. Oh, dude, there's no way in fuck I could do it. Like those guys. I mean, so I don't follow wrestling at all. I mean, I did in my when I was younger, like stuff with the Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, shit like that. Back when the guys were cool, in my opinion. Now it's just a bunch. I look at who's really fucking canoes. But even canoes or not, I'll give those are, in my opinion, just my opinion, the most talented athletes of all athletes. That shit's fucking crazy. And I know a little bit about it too because a good buddy of mine, I don't want to call him a mentor, but he kind of, got me in early things, part of the early stages of bodybuilding. He got into bodybuilding and he actually competed in bodybuilding because he came from the wrestling world. He was, had a contract with the WWE and, big motherfucker dude, strong as fuck too. But long story short, his girlfriend got pregnant. He kind of dropped out, but he had a contract. His first contract was for 1 year, was like $250,000 as a total newbie beginner. So he kind of told me the ins and outs of it, meeting Vince McMahon and shit like that. He had some pretty cool fucking stories. Dropped out, his girlfriend got pregnant, that type of shit. So it's kind of like, oh man, that fucked up. You fucked your shit up. What do you do though, right? So then he moved over to bodybuilding, right? So he kind of, took me under, I don't want to under his wing, but he gave advice and shit, stuff like that. Very early years of the dog. And he told me a lot of stories too, and I could just tell, like, and sing, and I'm like, yeah, these are some talented motherfuckers. No doubt about it. There's no way I could definitely not do that now. Way too banged up, and my mobility is trash. I'm like a fucking walking stiff ass fucking Frankenstein. Like that, I would tear something in 2 seconds trying to do that shit. You could have a gimmick where you pull off other wrestlers' headphones backstage to see what they're listening to, then get furious every time and scream, "Poser!" What's funny is, that could probably work too, especially if there's some goddamn poser medalist coming out to Pantera or something. And the thing is I would not be the least bit surprised if somebody does. And maybe not Pantera, but something like System of a Down or some bullshit. You know what I mean? And bash their head into a wall and just keep doing that until you become a world champion. Yeah, I could probably get some type of gimmick, especially, I don't know if other than guys like Papa Shango and The Undertaker, nobody did really like a satanic image. Who was the one guy in WCW that I always thought was cool as fuck seeing, was the guy with the Denial of God shirt? That was post my time when I stopped following wrestling. So I don't even know the guy's name. Was it Sting or one of those guys? One of the guys had fucking Denial of God logo shirt, and that was the fucking coolest thing I ever saw. Don't know if he was one of the Kardashian canoes or whatever, but then actually didn't listen to him. But goddamn, at least he had an underground. It's not like he's busting out Cannibal Corpse or something where it's like, yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, give me a fucking break. Who the hell hasn't heard of Cannibal? So gimmick-wise, I mean, I don't know, something with obviously all black clothes and shit like that, inverted crosses, shit like that. Face paint, maybe something the face paint's not cool. It's been done a million times. Ultimate Warrior, Sting, Legion of Doom, Papa Shango, I said. There was a ton of guys that done it, right? So it's kind of like, the face paint, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, image wise, if I would try to come up with something cool. I would have to really, really think about it. But it'd probably be something, darkness and evil, goddamn it, something that fits the bill. And then, of course, come out the fucking good tune skis, too. Something to school these mofos. To be completely honest, what would I come out to? Probably Nunslaughter or something very, very underground, something that represents Hells, something that has deep meaning to me, because Nunslaughter, early band, me started, friends with them, uh, helped start Hell's Headbangers, the leader of the thing, and I do, I'm a big, big fan of Nunslaughter, especially Hell's and Holy Fire and some of the 7 inch. I mean, I like everything by Nunslaughter, including the last album, but Hell's and Holy Fire and the Cerebus 7 inch and the Trifecate 7 inch, Sickened by the Sight of Christ 7 inch, which was a split with Cyanide. That shit I'm a huge fan of and listen to very, very, very often. So, yeah, I don't. I'd have to figure out what song I'm coming out to. I don't know. Maybe Mother Cunt Whore. That's one of my fucking faves. In case you happen to give a goddamn fuck. But finishing move, I don't know. I don't even know what else is out there too. I mean, probably everything's been done, right? But whatever it is, I'll probably come up with something different. Do the best I can. At least come up with a goddamn cool nickname for it, right? Hey, here we go. Next goddamn video line is the dog's favorite homeboy albums revealed. 183 questions. First question I'm seeing Metal Musician 6996. J-Dawg question. Do you think Brian Baxter had the best record shop back in the day? I mean, as a whole, if you're talking about metal record shops worldwide, I highly doubt it. That would be a pretty fucking tall order. But coolest shops that I personally bought physical format in person, for me, yes. But that's a little bit of an unfair comparison to others because I haven't been to too many other shops. I remember Shattered being really cool. Uh, but the difference between Shattered and Baxter's, why I like Baxter's more. Once I was only into Shattered like once or twice. He had tons of stuff, but he had also like kind of like non-metal stuff. Brian's shop was all extreme metal music, and primarily like death metal and brutal death gore grind shit like that. He had black metal too, but it was all extreme shit. You know what I mean? You wouldn't go in there. I don't even think he sold Black Sabbath and Motorhead and shit like that. He might be like, hey, bro, yeah, I did. I mean, I don't remember, but I know damn well he didn't sell like if he thought it was totally fucking terrible. I mean, he definitely sold stuff he didn't like, but it was extreme music. I'm almost positive. Again, don't quote me on it that he didn't sell stuff like Sabbath, Ozzy, Motorhead. Again, I could be wrong, but because I wasn't searching that out at that time either. I wasn't going in there at 15 years old looking for a Black Sabbath record. I was going in there buying literally the first aborted record at the time. Devourment, Molesting, Decapitated. That's literally where I bought those. Devourment, Molesting, Decapitated CD. I bought it the year after. I think it came out in '99, and I bought it in 2000. I bought it from there. Cock and Ball Torture. I bought it from there. Opus, Pussy, whatever. Bought it from there. Disgorge, Forensic. I bought it there. Chronic. I probably bought it there. I think I might have bought Chronic Corporate Infest from Will Romer's distro bin. I think that's where I bought that. But definitely the first aborted. I bought that from there. You guys know the Hemorrhage story, Hemorrhage, Anatomical Inferno. That was the first thing I heard. I bought from there. So that's why it was cool too, because they always were playing extreme shit. Now, my buddy Dan Merlin stuff says that sometimes, Brian would be playing, Merciful Fate and Sadist. I never heard him play that stuff. He's like, oh, because he loves those. Every time I walked in there, it was something, dude, it was either, it was Hemorrhage, it was Aborted, it was Dying Fetus, it was Deeds of Flesh, it was Flesh Grind, it was Cock and Ball Torture, it was Disgorge. I mean, that's all I ever fucking heard of shit like that. Literally just all the brutal shit. I don't even think I ever heard Cannibal Corpse in there, ever. Again, not saying he didn't play it, but every time I walked in there, which was several fucking times, maybe he did it intentionally because maybe most of the times I was in there was around a showtime. The show was going on that evening or whatever. So maybe he intentionally was playing stuff that he was trying to market and sell to. That's possible. I don't know. But so the atmosphere was cool because you walked in and it was like, yeah, you weren't gonna walk in and hear not even King Diamond. You know what I mean? Not even Slayer. I mean, it was blast and brutal shit. So it was obvious to any outsider, like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong goddamn place if they weren't there for brutal shit. Um, so it was cool in that sense, you know what I mean? And he had a good selection, all the brutal stuff that was coming out, and extreme music he would get in. So yeah, it was definitely a cool store. But again, to say it's the coolest, I mean, I have a lack of experience, especially at that time frame. So I wouldn't go so far as saying that. I'm sure there was probably something else on the world cooler. For me growing up, yeah, it was the coolest I've been to personally. Rodney Barr, J-Dawg question. What are your thoughts on the two We Wrote Them Really Quickly to Get the Fuck Off Roadrunner Records Deicide albums? Very fucking hilarious you bring this up. Incinerate them and in torment and hell question mark. I like Incinerate them. That one has the song Bible Basher and Torment. Meh, I'd buy it just to have in the collection. So the reason it's funny you bring that up is because, number one, I do like both of those. I'm fully aware they're half-assed, and everybody always says that those two are the worst albums. They especially say In Torment and Hell's the worst one. I disagree. I think Till Death Do Us Part is the worst album, and even that has kind of grown on me, but it is still the worst one. In Torment and Hell, my favorite song on there is Worry in the House of Thieves. But I like every track on there. But the reason it's funny you bring it up is because I picked up myself Hell's Got 'Em In. I'm like, do I really need this? But it had a cool booklet, a lot of stories and shit like that, and some photos. And it was really nice. It's a triple disc. It's called what, Bible Bastards or something. Hell's got like 10 of them or something. But I picked one up. It had Incinerate Them, Torment and Hell, and When Satan Lives live CD, all three in there. Granted, I already own all three of the albums, but I'm like, you know what? This is a nice looking fucking release. Yeah, like I said, big fat booklet. I was going to pick it up. But I was listening to all three again, a shop a couple times over and over. And like I said, I've owned those since they came out. Incinerate Them was the tour I first saw Deicide on, 2001. And especially Incinerate Them, I'm like, honestly, I'm just going to come out and say it. This is a great fucking record. Now, is it their best? No. Is it as good as Serpent's All Light or Legion or something? No. But I think it's a really good album. I remember songs like The Gift That Keeps on Giving. Some people back then, like, that's the good song. Like, that's the song that sucks. Because it kind of got the slow parts, and a couple other songs too have some of the slower parts. And I'm kind of surprised by today's standards with all these people. All they like is goddamn doom metal, and they basically call it death metal. They seem to like the slower parts much more than I do. I was like, it's kind of like a slower, doomier at parts fucking Deicide album, and that's the only one that does that. And then Bible Basher, I always thought that's a fantastic song. I think Glenn needs to be slapped upside his head for not playing that every live set. I think that's a mandatory staple. You need to play that one live. I think that's a banger. My other favorites is Bible Bash is my favorite song. My second favorite song is Worst Enemy, and then probably Refusal of Penance. After that, probably Standing in the Flames. Those songs, they're fucking great, but everything on there is good. Incinerate Them, better than In Torment and Hell. But all in all, In Torment and Hell, too. In Torment and Hell is definitely more half-assed, no doubt about it. But I still enjoy it. It's catchy. It's sing-along. Yeah, I still fucking dig it. It destroys fucking most of the crap that just comes out nowadays. I'm like, just background. Again, maybe because I'm super biased to Deicide. I don't know. Maybe it's just Glenn's formula resonates with me. It could be a total bias, but I just brought it out. I'm just like, I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time over the shit that comes out today for the most part. Again, just excluding the stuff that I mentioned that I really liked that I'm a big fan of. But most of them just like, it was cool background, but I was like, there's nothing I'm gonna pick up, you know. So yeah, if you don't know, Incinerate Them and Torment Hell, I recommend them. But yeah, I know most people don't like them. Guy asking a question, but it's about a man I know nothing about. Goatman, Brian Baxter likes all King Diamond, question mark. Every record, question mark. I find that super hard to believe. They've got some poo-poo. There's no poo-poo in the catalog, brah, brah. The only poo-poo is fucking him bringing the female vocalist, which he just needed to do it himself. But yeah, I'm almost positive he told me he likes every single album. I could be slightly mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure he told me that because it was when King Diamond played here in 2019. He was there, and we always shoot the shit whenever we bump into each other. And I said to him, "Oh, I'm surprised you like King Diamond." Oh yeah, bro, every album. The reason I kind of remember is because number one, I was surprised you like King Diamond. I didn't know that all these years, and when he said every album, I was even more taken back, shocked. So maybe I misheard him because he definitely did tell me. He told me at Deicide that he likes every single Cannibal Corpse record. We were talking about Cannibal. It's like, dude, they don't have a dud in the catalog. I was like, I'm not surprised you said that about them. I was like, but I wasn't sure on your stance. Oh yeah, bro, they're all good. Grinded 0-2. Never fails to ask something, goddammit. Question: I think if someone claims to be into metal and doesn't know or like the first four Slayer albums, first four Metallica's, Venom, Merciful Fate, 80 Sodom, they are a poser. Yeah. See, I always say you don't have to like anything to be into metal, but I kind of agree. I gotta say, because that's just dumb. Like, if you don't like stuff, at least something in there. Um, Also, I have my hair in a bun and sipping Starbucks right now. Hey, at least you know who fucking Sodom and fucking Fate shit is. I'm on my way to work. My hair's so long I gotta tie it back, and my coworker bought me Starbucks. Not bad. Cheers, brah. Actually, speaking of Starbucks, I got the fucking saw in the store, and I'm like, fuck, I'm getting a little fucking burn on in my McCafe. Bought this in case you want it. I don't know, it was in goddamn Target. We were in there, had a Hellcat need to get something. I was in there. I'm like, fuck it, I wanted something for me. This is the toasted coconut mocha, artificially flavored. No calories added. Limited edition. Pretty tasty. Yeah, when I bust Starbucks, balls. It's just the whole just busting goddamn balls. Calm the fuck down. It's not that goddamn serious. See if we got anything in. Hmm. So we'll knock out this one. T-Bone Tone. J-Dawg, did you ever get to check out Athner's band Boulder? Yes, I did. When they were around? No, not when they were around. I think it was right after. Or was that before your time? Yeah, slightly before my time. Well, I mean, I don't think I was going to show. I mean, what year did Boulder stop? Because there was that 7-inch, which is for the life of me, I'm forgetting the name of it, which is probably my favorite thing. It was one of the later ones, though. I have two LPs. The 7-inch, I'm forgetting the name of. What was it? Fuck, what was the name of it? God damn it. Depends when did Boulder stop. Did Boulder stop like early 2000s? If they stopped early 2000s, I was around. I was going to shows and shit, but I never seen Boulder. I didn't know who Jamie was at the time. Gotta be honest, the Boulders, they don't get very many spins. I do own them. I can't air guitar them. I've listened to them at least more than 3 times, probably no more than 5 at the most. And I remember liking them each time. It's been a while since I've listened to them, so I'd have to go back to them. But the times I listened to them, I enjoyed them and I kept them. They weren't in the get rid of pile; they're still in the collection. So that's kind of where I stand. I mean, I had a general idea what they sound like and shit like that too. Off the top of my head, it's just I couldn't air guitar songs or anything like that. So yeah, but in general, I think when Boulder was in their prime, so to say, I think that was before my time. When was it? Like 96, 95, somewhere in there. If that's the case, yeah, that was right before my time. But my time as far as going to shows and shit, being in the scene, if that's what you want to call it, would start at 1998. So maybe I was there, maybe I wasn't, but I wasn't actually at Boulder shows. So I was around if he was doing it that time, but I wasn't at their actual fucking shows. Kevin Squishes Energy, nothing we can do. Put the God's Watch scans for the morning. Leader, goddamn it.